There we go. All right, sorry about that. Peace, 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 peace. Peace, 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 peace. All right, all right, all right. Feeling good, feeling great. Peace, peace, peace. I'm Rami. This is part 2. Gonna give folks a second. I apologize on the delay. Had some uncle duties today. Oh, the rhyme just coming out. But yeah, I had some uncle duties. Had to pick up my niece. Shout out to my niece. Yeah, man. Oh, man. So part 1, if you didn't watch, I dropped the link in there. You can check it out. Part 1, I hit most of the points that I wanted to touch on. And then right after I ended, I said, how did I forget to show the Wikipedia comparison? I was like completely mad at myself about that. But I was like thinking about it, and there was a couple of things I just wanted to highlight, to show, to reemphasize on why it's important that the Moors, members of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Moorish Americans, why we need to be extending our hand and asking for some assistance, looking towards the Nation of Islam for some guidance or a template or an example of how an organization should be ran. But we're gonna get to that in a second. You know what? I'm gonna take a breathe. I'm gonna play this thing real quick, and then we're gonna get right. Play this little jammy jam real quick, and then we're gonna get right to the teachings. I've been making some music and feeling real good. Figure I'll share a little bit. Let's see what we got going. All right. We hitting the pocket now. It ain't no stopping now. 7's up in this mother. Yeah. Hey, where my Moors at? Check it out. Now see, a long time ago there was one man. And he came to teach Moors who was being called Negroes and Blacks. And you see, he was sort of like this guy 3 wise men used to speak about way, way, way back in the day. 3. And he was for love instead of hate. 4. And he stood on 5 principles. 5. It was love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Yeah. All right. And no disrespect to the 6th guy. That's 6. But this man here, he was rolling with them 7s. Ay, he was rolling with them 7s. 7. Yeah, he was rolling with them 7s. 7. Now we rolling with them 7s. 7. Yeah, we rolling with the 7s. Put them up. 7. If you rollin' with the 7s.
Noble Drew Ali was one of the greatest men to come among us. So teaches the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Noble Drew Ali, that was his name. To help us know ourselves, that's why he came. Yeah, I used to be so angry, spitting flame, but once I seen the light, that is when it changed. Once you know the truth, it changed your wise. You could see our people for we are, not the lies. Now I understand why they try and keep us lost. Our ancestors great, man, they really had the sauce. They gave hella knowledge, hella culture to the world. They're trying to make us slaves, man, y'all ain't keep it there. Without even knowing, making gold out of dirt. We always showing love, that's probably why it hurt. My people wanna chill, my people want serenity. And it seems like I want some more enemies. We all about love, we all about peace. Throw them 7s up when you see us in the streets.
Yes. You know we throw the 7s. Hit them with the left. But you know this feel like hell. Oh yeah.
7 sub right there. 7 sub right there. Right there. Right there.
All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Peace, 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 peace. We're gonna get into this comparison, part two, the Nation of Islam and the Moorish Science Temple of America. Um, in the previous one, I highlighted some things, but on this one, I wanted to show just another comparison, just in terms from an organizational perspective, why it's important um, for Moors, true Moorish Americans, um, members of the Moorish Science Temple of America, why we need to look at, I mean, you can look at any organizations, but I chose the Nation of Islam, one, because of the connections and the ties historically to the Moorish Science Temple, and also it's, a quote unquote black, organization. So it has that commonality. But it also is just a good example to look at in terms of just simple basic structure, some things that we should have as a member or a part of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Um, and we need to be critical of ourselves, um, and honest with ourselves, and hold ourselves accountable and responsible and improve. So without me talking too much more, let me pull this up real quick. Let's see. Can we see this real quick? All right. Nation of Islam. All right. Boom. And so I just wanted to bring you to the Wikipedia. All right. This is just real basic. All right. Real basic stuff. Can we see? Yeah, I can. Let's see. I can do this here. Cool. I'm not in the way. Well, actually, yeah. Zoom in a little bit. Boom. Bring that over. What I wanted to highlight is this right here. This little box section here. Nation of Islam, abbreviation, formation, boom, July 4th, 1930. Founder, boom, we got the founder, Wallace Farr Muhammad, founded, boom. What kind of organization is it? Got it right there. Legal status, okay, all right. Headquarters, Mosque Miriam, Chicago, Illinois. I got a real interesting story I'll tell one time about that. Location, membership, estimate as of 2007. Language, leader, all right. Who is the leader of the organization? We can see clearly Louis Farrakhan, Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Key people, Elijah Muhammad, Waz Muhammad, Malcolm X. Subsidiaries, Fruit of Islam, Muhammad University of Islam, Muslim Girls Training, Star Chamber Academy, and website. Bam. Real simple. You know what I mean? But I'm pointing this out because you can see the information. It's clear. It's not up for interpretation where we think it's this and it could be this. It's multiple sites. Who is the leader? We don't know. No, they know. The Nation of Islam is very clear. The history is clear. Point right to it. Even has an estimate. I mean, it's 2007, so membership could be much different as of right now. But at least has some idea. You can get some understanding of the organization. Now, let me switch over to the good old Moorish Science Temple of America, just for the comparison. It's important that we do the comparison. All right, Moorish Science Temple. Okay. I mean, already it's 3 addresses. Here we go. Moorish Science Temple of America. Wikipedia. All right. Is there something that we notice? Is there something that we notice that's different? Let me switch back over real quick. Nation of Islam. Let me zoom out so you can see. It's right at the top. All right. You see they got the chart right there to the right, yes? Now let's go back to the Moorish Science Temple of America. All right. Do they got that chart to the right? Okay, let me scroll down just so you can see. Let's see. Maybe the chart's down at the bottom. Maybe that's what it is. No. Citations, references, external link, no chart. No chart for the Moorish Science Temple of America. No box that tells us something simple as the abbreviation, when it was the formation date, the founder, the type of organization, the legal status, what the headquarters are, what the membership is, who the leader is, who the key people are, what the subsidiaries are, what the website is. We don't see that with the Moorish Science Temple of America. The question is why? Good brothers, good sisters, any Moors out there? Islam, Jewhood, Islam, peace, peace, peace. Peace, Swindle. As of 2013, there was about 30,000 members of the Moorish Science Temple of America, according to Swindle. How do you know that, Swindle? If you could share with the people, be interested to know. My thing is just in terms of basic comparison, and we're going to get to some videos in a second that highlights the point of what I'm saying. But there's an issue when Moors are speaking down about other organizations, other groups, other leaders, because they identify as black, or because they don't identify as Moorish. It's problematic when it's people that are speaking down, and yet when you take a look at our organization, when you just take an honest look at it, we are doing a very poor job at representing ourselves. You know what I mean, to say it politely. Why do we not know who the leader of the Moorish Science Temple of America is? Why isn't that clear? So many Moors that you see on, the different internet and social media sites and video sites speaking about so much profound knowledge. Who is the official leader of the organization? How many people? How many people are in the organization? Where's the website, the official website? Simple stuff. Simple stuff. And the fact that we don't, we're not able to display that and show that and represent ourselves properly, it says a lot about the condition that our organization is in. And if we're being honest, we got a lot to work on. I wanted to share this other video real quick, not talk too much. I found that on the website. Gotcha. Appreciate that one. I wanted to share this video though. Also, because again, I've seen Moors. I've seen people that claim to be, what happened? Oh, claiming to, be Moors and claim to represent Noble Drew Ali, but will speak disrespectfully about different organizations like the Nation of Islam, like the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and that's not right, nor is it necessary. So I just wanted to play this for some context, for a comparison to see, how this the Nation of Islam's leader, how does he represent himself? Let's compare and see. Let me mute myself real quick. 1 second.
Came to New York after I had accepted Islam. Brother Malcolm was alive at that time and his New York minister. The first, it was October 1956. I'm sorry, 55. Elijah Muhammad spoke on two men who were the forerunners to him. Noble Drew Ali was number 1, and Marcus Garvey was number 2. Noble Drew Ali was number 1. Noble Drew Ali was number 1, and Marcus Garvey was number 2. He said to us, that was the first big speech outside of a temple that I heard Elijah Muhammad speak. And on that day, he lifted Noble Drew Ali, that we should honor him, respect him, and study what he did. Noble Drew Ali. He lived from 1886 to 1929. I salute my brother. He's the first man to bring Islam to us, the first man to bring Islam to us, the first man to bring Islam to us, to bring Islam to us in the way he tried to bring it. And I thank him, thank Allah for him. I see my Moorish brothers here. In the early days, it was the Moors fighting the police. We came after them. Noble Drew Ali was one of the greatest men to come among us, so teaches the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Honorable Elijah Muhammad loved Marcus Garvey, respected and honored Marcus Garvey, and bid his followers to respect and honor Noble Drew Ali and Marcus Garvey as the forerunners to what we are doing right now. And I don't think there's anything more honorable than that a man will say that Marcus Garvey and Noble Drew Ali blazed a trail and were forerunners.
Islam to all the Moors. And let us take a moment to say that we did reach a watershed moment at Savior's Day, 2014. Did you see that speech?
No, I didn't.
It's a speech worth watching because the Moors have been kicking up a lot of dust.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's look at Noble Drew Ali. Here's a man that died a young man. Noble Drew Ali. He lived from 1886 to 1929. I salute my brother. He's the first man to bring Islam to us in the way he tried to bring it. And I thank him, thank Allah for him.
So now with the internet and Facebook and social network, here come back the Moors and their teachings and all of that. So this Sunday, a couple Sundays ago, Minister Farrakhan, he did something that had never been done by a Nation of Islam leader. He put Noble Drew Ali's picture up on a big mural of all the great black leaders, and he gave him credit as being the man that is teaching Islam in America before anybody else. That's Minister Farrakhan said this. He said it, as it say in words, to paraphrase him, that this man was teaching Islam here ahead of everybody else. That means ahead of Master Farad Muhammad and Elijah Muhammad, of which in the Nation of Islam, you are taught under the strict religious blinder or binder that no Islam was here before Farad and Elijah. No knowledge was here before Farad and Elijah. No disrespect, because I love me some Master Farad Muhammad, but there was some knowledge and some organizing here before Master Farad Muhammad and Elijah. And the Honorable Minister Farrakhan acknowledged that and affirmed that and praised Nation of Islam leader Minister Farrakhan, praised Noble Drew Ali, and praised the Moorish movement.
That was
I mean, I'll stop that one right there. I think that one's good enough, actually. But I think you can see and you can hear very clearly the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan give Noble Drew Ali and the Moorish Science Temple of America the proper respect. The forerunner before Farrar Muhammad, before Elijah Muhammad, before the Nation of Islam, before the Black Panthers, before these organizations, before Malcolm, before Martin, you know what I mean, before all of these amazing leaders and figures, there was this brother named Noble Drew Ali. And on that note, I wanted to share this real quick. Got this book called The Five Percenters, Islam, Hip Hop, and the Gods of New York. Michael Muhammad Knight. Michael Muhammad Knight. I wanted to just read this real because I was flipping through and it caught my eye right before I went live. It says this is the chapter, this page 32 and 33, Clarence and Malcolm, chapter 3. Pardon me. It says, as with NOI, Nation of Islam mosque across the country, male members of Temple Number 7 engaged in Fruit of Islam training, which included self-defense and military drills. The head of Harlem's Fruit of Islam, the FOI, Captain Joseph X, was the son of Joseph Gravith L., one of Elijah's old friends from the Moorish Science Temple. Wait, I didn't realize that. The history is deep. Before encountering the Nation of Islam, the younger Joseph was an alcoholic who couldn't hold a job in Detroit, was arrested, and fearing that Joseph would wind up in a gutter, his father, at the time leading Detroit's Moorish Science Temple, sought help from Elijah. The messenger told Joseph that he'd be spending several weeks with Malcolm X. After the 7 weeks, Elijah promised Joseph would be free to stay with the Muslims or go on his way. Joseph did join the Nation of Islam, and Elijah kept him close to Malcolm by naming him the minister's bodyguard. Joseph later followed Malcolm to Harlem, where Malcolm became minister of Temple Number 7, and Joseph was named captain of the Fruit. And I'm not going to get into the rest of the history. But my point in reading that one was to show, even back then, there was a connection between the Moorish Science Temple of America and the Nation of Islam working together. So just another example. But I knocked out the Wikipedia. I got the good brother, Minister Farrakhan. And now I wanted to do one other video. Oh yes, Brother Ben. The good brother Ben. But it actually, the video, I'm laughing. You'll see y'all see in a moment, because it highlights one of the issues with the Moorish Science Temple of America, how we operate, how we represent ourselves, man, all the way across the board, honestly. And before that, I just wanted to show this real quick and show some respect to the good brother. Before I get to the video, you can see here, back in 2019, I reached out to the good brother, Brother Ben X, because I had made some videos about him in response to some videos he had made about Moors, and it was, jokes, but it was some shots thrown, you know what I mean? But my point was that I was reaching out to build and work together And he, at the time he was starting to really build his business program, and haven't linked up with the good brother just yet. However, God is the best of planners, and that will happen when the time is right. But I wanted to show this video, um, and I wanted, in particular, Moors, what I mean, that are watching this video, Moorish Americans, members of the Moorish Science Temple of America, watch the video, listen to Brother Ben's questions, and then see how the Moorish brother, let me see, let me get this on the screen, how the Moorish brother responds is important, because as Moorish Americans, as members of the Moorish Science Temple of America, I feel humbly we should be developing training and education and to inform members how to answer these questions, so that we don't end up as this kind of example. But let me stop talking, and we'll go ahead and play it so you can see.
So why do y'all keep saying that's what we're saying?
So what's your what's your nationality, my
What
brother?
is the nationality?
What is your nationality?
I'm asking, what is that?
What is the Nation of Islam is a nation, right? So what is the nationality of the Nation of Islam?
Brother, you think I'm playing? You already said we don't teach it. What is the nationality?
When you fill out, when Brother Ben X fills out a job, whenever you had a job or whatever legal documents you fill out,
I put
whatever legal documents you fill out, do you put Black and African American?
When they ask me what am I put Black. Okay.
So legally you declare yourself as being Black.
But I don't believe Black is my nationality.
So you don't believe Black is your nationality, but on a piece of paper, you will say that you're Black. On a legal document, you will say that you're Black, even though you don't believe that yourself.
On the legal document, it didn't ask me what my nationality was.
So your race is Black.
If that's what they put on there, and it has white, Black, Latino, I know what they're talking about. So I'm not going to put white, because I know they're not talking about status. I'm going to put Black, because I know what the person who's filling out this application, I know what they're saying. I'm not going to be smart and say, well, according to
so listen. So you're saying you know what they're saying, but I told you that the origin. If you know what they're saying, then you wouldn't put Black if you knew what they were saying.
So do you check?
What is the definition of Black when it comes to race? When it comes to race, and it comes to these documents of job application or something like that, what is the definition of Black, and what is the definition of white, and what is the definition of these different races?
Now listen, I'm not gonna keep answering all your questions. You keep ignoring mine. Like you literally ignore.
I'm not ignoring no questions. You're
Now the brother did. He did not answer the question. He's simply asking what is nationality. Gave him. Oh man. Let me highlight exactly that. Exactly that. Yes. Yeah. He should have used that as a teacher moment. Perfect teacher moment. What is nationality? Glad you asked, brother. Nationality is ba-bum, 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 ba-bum. That should be something that should be taught in Moorish schools, for example. Sidebar, side question. Where are the Moorish schools? Do we have any official Moorish schools in this country? Like certified Moorish schools that, children are attending, and because this will be something to teach, basics. Just saying, let me continue. Definitely agree. Perfect teacher moment.
you're not even
okay. Let's start with the question I asked you before you asked me this. I asked you, what is nationality? I asked you that simple question that y'all always getting on us about. You in our comments, y'all be in our lives everywhere. What's your nationality? What does it mean, so we can get to the bottom of it right now?
Bro, you trying to play little kid games talking about what is nationality, bro?
Brother, I
You
don't know
know
what it
what that
means. I
is,
don't know what it
bro.
means. What does nationality mean?
So you don't know what nationality.
I
You
don't
don't know
think
what
you gotta,
nationality
I'm
means,
starting to think you don't know what nationality means. You answered everything.
bro.
You
No,
answered
I'm doing.
That's another thing. If you don't know, it's okay to say, you know what? I don't know the definition. Let's look it up together. You know what? I don't know what it means verbatim. This is what it means, my understanding. You know what? You got me there. Matter of fact, my bad. I need maybe if you don't know the basics, ask yourself these questions. What does nationality mean? All right, nationality means, and if you can't do that with yourself, maybe you shouldn't go on other people's platforms trying to teach them what nationality is if you yourself don't have a very firm understanding of the topic. But again, this is something that, as an organization, Moorish Americans, members of the Moorish Science Temple of America, we should be doing better so that we don't have representations like this, so that people understand, okay, these are the folks that you should, if you want to know about Moor science, if you want to know about Noble Drew Ali and what it means to be a Moor, go talk to those individuals. Just like if I wanted to know about the Nation of Islam, if I wanted to know about how to eat to live, if I want to know about what is the fruit of Islam, I wouldn't just pick some random person. I would go to the people that dress and fit the part as a member of the nation. Hey, good brother. Yes, sir. How can I help? You know what I mean? I'm just anyway. Let me get back to it. Let me stop talking.
This with you, bro, because
you answered.
I watch you, bro. I know you know better. I
Brother,
know you know better.
okay, brother, you
I
answered
know you know better though, bro.
with confidence. Now that I'm asking, you act like you can't answer. It's a simple question. Teach the people. It's 108 people on live. Tell them what nationality means. I may have it wrong. What does it mean?
Now you may have it wrong, bro. What nation do you belong to? What nation do your nationality is whatever you want to make it, whatever you think your nationality is,
brother.
you can that can be your nationality.
You,
I'm gonna tell you this, right?
hold on.
I'm gonna break it.
Hold on.
I'm gonna break it down like I'm talking to a kindergartner. I'm gonna break nationality down like I'm talking to a child.
Thank you. I just want the definition. That's
okay.
It.
If you are born in China, your parents come from China.
Come on, I like this point. Come on.
You're Chinese.
Okay.
That's what a person that they not red, they not yellow.
All
they're
right.
Chinese.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
If I'm born here in America, my parents here from America, my grandparents here from America, I'm fucking American.
So am I American?
Canadian? Are you American?
I was born here. I'm asking y'all. The Moors are the specialists in law. Brother Ben X was born in America. So is my nationality American?
I believe I believe that your nationality, that's a part of your nationality. But yes, being from the Americas, yes, you are American.
Okay.
Whether from north, south, however you want to go about, whatever, you are American. We are American. We were born here on this soil. We are Americans.
So when you,
all right, I gotta pause it real quick. I just wanted, because the brother asked so many times and didn't give him a straight, didn't give brother Ben a straight answer. What does nationality mean? Boom. You go right there to the, you know what I mean? Hit to your internet search. What does nationality mean? Gives you a definition. The status of belonging to a particular nation. Number two, an ethnic group forming a part of one or more political nations. The status of belonging to a particular nation. If I was to been explaining, I would have said it's the proper way that people identify themselves belonging to a nation or a country. Then give an example, but he just jumped straight to the example. Still didn't actually give Brother Ben a definition or explain what does nationality mean. But let me get back to it. We still got some more my goodness. But this is the prime example of why we as Moorish Americans, we have to do better. Because before I press play, Brother Ben is asking very sincerely. He's saying, I don't know. So teach me. What does it mean? And then he's spinning, oh, now you want to act like you don't. The brother don't know. If you are claiming to have this knowledge and someone is coming and saying, I don't know, teach me, then teach them. Humble yourself and teach them. Or don't pretend or don't put yourself forward like you do know if you don't know. Or you are a teacher or you are an educator if you're not willing to teach or you're not willing to educate. Yeah. Hey, right there. Ramachi, he clearly didn't know what he was speaking about. He needed to humble himself and admit he shouldn't have spoke on the subject. I agree, 1,000%. And on a larger note, I mean, this applies to Moors, you know what I mean, specifically, but really anybody. We got to work on being okay with admitting, you know what, I don't know. Moors, it's okay to not be some master of knowledge in all subjects. It's okay to admit that you don't know law, that you are not an expert on legal matters, and that you're also not an expert on history, and that you don't also know chemistry and all of these things that our ancestors did. It's okay. It's quite all right if you don't have an expert knowledge in all of these things and you just know a little bit about this. It's okay. It's okay if you admit to somebody, you know what, I don't really know about that. It don't make you less of a Moor. All right. Let me get back to let me get the good brother real quick. Let me finish this up.
You fill out your job application. Do you put American?
I put Moorish American.
Oh, they got that on there. Do you write it?
Yeah, I write it. I mean, it's other, you can write it. You can write it yourself.
Man, so I'm American. Why do you put Moorish American? What's that about?
Because I'm descendants of the Moroccan Empire. Do you know about that?
Nuh-uh. Teach me about
I'm descendants of the Moors, my brother. You know about it, bro. I've seen you talk about it plenty of times.
Teach
If you
us.
don't know, I didn't hop on here to
See, this is
no,
what
I'm not
saying.
no fucking. I'm not. Listen, right? Listen to me. I didn't come on here like I can't speak for every Moor in the world. I can't talk for every fucking Moor. I can't speak on what every Moor.
See, he ain't ask him. Let me rewind that real quick and then talk about this. Listen, the brother said he said, teach me. Listen to what he said. Let me run it back.
Teach me about
I'm descendants of the Moors, my brother. You know about him. We are American. We was born here on this soil. We are Americans.
So when you fill out your job application, do you put American?
I put Moorish American.
Oh, they got that on there. Do you write it?
Yeah, I write it. I mean, it's other, you can write it. You can write it yourself.
Man, so I'm American. Why do you put Moorish American? What's that about?
Because I'm descendants of the Moroccan Empire. Do you know about that?
Nuh-uh. Teach me about
I'm descendants of the Moors, my brother. You know about it, bro. I've seen you talk about it plenty of times.
Teach
if
us.
You don't know. I didn't hop on here to
see this.
No,
what
I'm not
saying.
no fucking. I'm not. Listen, right? Listen to me. I didn't come on here like I can't speak for every Moor in the world. I can't talk for every fucking Moor. I can't speak on what every Moor believes.
I'm not talking about
There's a lot of different Moors.
I'm talking about
you already made it specifically. That's what you already made this a Moor thing.
No.
Didn't make it a my thing. I'm my own person.
Let me correct that, because before you came on, and everybody in the comment section can bear witness, I said I do not blame the Moors for individuals. When I say y'all, I'm speaking about a group who comments on my page. When I say y'all, I'm not saying y'all as in Moors. I'm talking about the group of people that go on to people comments and say y'all wrong, you're not black. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about Moors as a whole. So when I'm asking you the question. I don't think that you represent all of the Moors, because obviously there's some Moors that's against other Moor organizations. That happens all the time.
I'm not against. I'm my own person. Honestly, though, and this is what I'm really getting to. You feel me? Honestly, I'm for us as a people. I don't give a fuck what you say you claim. We got some problems that we need to fix, and that's what I am for. But when we come into the conscious community, and I feel like some people know better, I'm not saying I don't know everything. You feel me? You probably know more than me on some certain studies and shit like that. We could build. But what I am saying is, what I do know for a fact, and what you do know for a fact, is that Black and African American is not nationalities, and is not what we should be claiming as our
I don't
race,
agree.
ethnicity. So you agree that we are Black?
Yes.
Okay. Can you
And,
explain why do you think that we are Black?
let me say this,
I'll
because
let you build on that.
all of y'all who say that you don't call yourself Black, I don't see no difference between you and me. Like y'all be like, like
No, it's not.
like I've been on the live with a brother who says, brother, when you claim your nationality, you don't have to get a driver's license, you don't have to have insurance, we don't pay mortgage. And I'm not saying that's what you're saying, but everybody be talking about we can build a nation if we claim a nationality. When you go to court, we go to our own court. But every time I see somebody, they doing the same damn thing I'm doing. You got a job,
And I agree.
person got a job.
Right.
Y'all ain't got
The
no land.
problem,
This
the
person ain't
the
got no land. Y'all ain't got your children going to public school just like this person going to public school. So
right,
be condemning
right.
somebody for saying Black. Hell, what is the benefits of saying more if you're not going to produce
No, I'm
what you saying more produces?
right. My personal, I have personal problems.
All right. I think I'm gonna stop it there. But I wanted to highlight something he said at the end. Two things. One, the example or the representation that comes to mind of Moors is oftentimes what I've seen when people speak about Moors. It's always, not always, it's oftentimes in reference to driving without a driver's license. You ain't got to pay taxes, claiming property without paying. And it's like, why is that the representation, the example that people go to when they think about Moors? That's a question for Moors for us to really think about and reflect on. Why is it that that's what people associate with Moors? When you mention Moors, when you speak about Moors, when people give an example of Moors, why is that the example? Who do we have to blame? Ultimately, who's an ultimate, not even who do we have to blame? Who's accountable? Forget the blame. Who is accountable for our representation? Mm. Who is accountable? Who is responsible for how we are represented? For putting out an example that we can point to and show people these are Moorish Americans. This is an example of a member of the Moorish Science Temple of America. That's something that we got to think about. The other thing that I wanted to mention that Brother Ben said, peace, 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 Brother Jay Atkins. I see that. One second. The yeah, I agree. But Brother Ben, he said, I don't see the difference between, I don't see any benefits to claiming I'm a Moor or to claiming to be a Moor or Moorish American. I don't see no difference between that and being Black. So why should I? What's the benefits of claiming to be a Moor? And that's a very valid and fair question. As a quote unquote Black person, Black people looking at Moors, what's the benefit? You saying we need to call ourselves Moors instead of Black? Why? Why should I do that? What does doing that get me? Fair question. That's another thing that I think should be taught in the Moorish schools. How do you respond to this question as a Moorish American? What is the response? And that's not, I'm not saying I ain't got the answer to give you. You know what I mean? I'm not claiming to have the answer for Moorish Americans, but that is a very valid question. And it's something that also, we need to be unified about. How do you explain to someone, how do you explain to our brothers and sisters, people that are black, our people that believe or identify as black, how do you explain to them why it's important to call ourselves Moors instead of black? Fair question. Oh, Malachi, got it. But I saw this comment right here. Brother J. Atkins L. Islam. The Mo should have told Brother Ben X about Act 6 and then explain chapter 47 in the Moorish Science Temple of America Holy Quran. Also the 101s to clear up any confusion and misunderstanding. I feel you. I feel you. But also something to think about and consider. What about for the people that aren't a part, of the Moorish Science Temple of America? The divine constitution is for the members. And what happens when you run into somebody black who's asking those questions that's not interested in the Circle 7 Quran? How do we address those brothers and sisters without going to religious texts? How do we explain to them, what nationality means? Why it's important that we identify as Moors? These are things that, now this is my opinion, I feel that we should be teaching, as opposed to, a lot of the other nonsense that I see out. You know what I mean? I don't want to get too specific, but you feel what I'm saying. We need to address these real issues. And I'm gonna get out of here soon. I want to close up. That was all I had on the videos. If there's any questions that you had, in my opinion, just to answer the question, because I think it's a great question. What's the benefits of calling ourselves Moors instead of black? Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna do a build on that. But in my opinion, I think we have to take a step back. It's not to avoid answering the question, but it's to really think about that question. Why should there be a benefit to you by your identifying yourself by your proper name and not by this enslaved name or this enslaved brand or enslaved title? You know what I mean? Like, think about that. Why do it is not identifying ourselves properly by our true name? Is that not the benefit in itself? Shouldn't you want to let go of the slave brand? Like, they're calling you, Negro, 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 and calling your ancestors and your grandma and your mama and your auntie and your uncle. They call you. Wouldn't you want to let go of that? Once you know who you are, once you proud of who we are, isn't that the benefit? Why are we looking for something more than that? Like, when I think about it, it's like, well, do Chinese people say, well, what's the benefit of calling myself Chinese before I claim who I am? Do Mexican people think like that? Well, before I call myself, I don't know if I want to claim myself as Mexican. I mean, that's who I am, but I don't know if I want to claim it. What's the benefits? Like that. That's the first thing that comes to my mind, and then also, to me, the benefit, knowledge of yourself. You know what I mean? Like, knowing who you are, knowing who your people are, being able to look into history and say, wow, this is the connection and this is the link in the chain of how me and my family got here. And look at the road and the journey it took for us to get here. And look at all the hardships that our people were able to overcome. Look at all the greatness and things that they were able to achieve. For me, that's, a real, I mean, it may not be a benefit in something tangible, like, okay, yeah, if I call myself a Moor, I'm not getting cut a check for 50,000. Okay, true. But That knowledge, I think it empowers people, at least I can say for myself, it empowered me to be proud of who I am. You know what I mean? I've had a European brother call me that, you know what I mean, with the hard ER, crazy, talking crazy. It didn't phase me like it would have when I was younger and I didn't have more knowledge of self. Because I knew, oh, this brother is completely ignorant. You know what I mean? He obviously don't know about, you know what I mean? And it's cool. God bless you. You know what I mean? Able to navigate that. We in the store with my son. I point out to look at that. That's a Moorish orange right there. Boom, right there. Like, right, it says it. Mortal. You know what I mean? In the store. And he's like, he could see it. At just point we were in Target, seeing this book, Sir Morian. Yeah, it's about a quote unquote black, a Moorish knight at the night of the round tables. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, like boom, right? You know what I mean? Just walking through. These are the kind of things that are quote unquote benefits, if you will. I'm not gonna get into the stuff about claiming houses and taxes and driving, all of that. Man, that's not where it's at. That's not where it's at. I don't see any last. I appreciate that. Any last questions before I get up out of here? I appreciate the folks that have been watching and tapping in. If you have questions and you're watching this and the live is already done, please drop it in the comment section. I'll be there. All I ask is if folks are respectful in the comment section, you can. Let me see here. You can present your perspective without being disrespectful, even if you disagree. I don't see too many more questions, so I think I'm gonna get up out of here. Just to highlight again the book that I read from today, The Five Percenters. There we go. Five Percenters: Islam, Hip Hop, and the Gods of New York. Michael Muhammad Knight has some good, some nuggets of information in here, that helps paint the picture, about Noble Drew Ali and the movement. Very powerful. You know what I mean? I just opened this page 23. Oh, wow. Oh, man. Oh, man, I didn't even read any of this part. Why I can't even, this is off. This is kind of off topic, but I'll just read the part that's disconnected. Both Noble Drew Ali and W.D. Farrar aspired to create an identity for African Americans greater than that offered under the United States flag. Ali claimed that Black people could reclaim their true names, culture, and religion by embracing Moorish heritage. Farrar taught his followers that they were registered in the Nation of Islam, which had no birth record, beginning or ending, and was older than the sun, moon, and stars. I'm not going to get into the differences in ideology. What I will say that I think is important to highlight about Noble Drew Ali and the Moorish Science Temple of America, especially in these days and times with American descendants of ADOS, the term ADOS, American descendants of slaves, and like there's another one like melanated American. There's one other one that I'm trying to think of. I can't remember, but especially in these days and times where there are new terms that are foundational Black American, especially in these days and times where there are new identities that are being created to try and represent who the quote unquote African American, the quote unquote Negro is, the quote unquote Black person is. The thing that's important to understand about Noble Drew Ali is that he was not creating a new identity. He was helping us to reclaim the identity that we lost when our ancestors were enslaved. So it's really important to understand that it's not something created. Like the term African American was created in the 1970s, I believe. 19 no, is either 70s or 90s. It might have been 90s, but it was with Jesse Jackson. That I do know. Like that term is not an ancient term or not a historically accurate term for what we were identified before we were called Negroes. Neither is black, neither is colored, neither is Afro American or melanated American or foundational black American or American descendant of slave. The term that we were identified as a people before we were enslaved, before our names were taken away from us and slave names were given to us, like Toby, for example, we were identified as Moors. This is a fact of history, not my opinion, but just, just what it is, just the history. But this is also particular to so-called Negroes, you know what I mean, so-called black people. Uh, Other folks, they have their identity, they have their nationality. Uh, what? Can you speak on how Congress is suppressing Moorish Empire? Nah, nah, no, I can't speak to that because I don't know nothing about that. But I appreciate this comment. Keep these coming. May bring the people together to start building. Oh, okay, yeah, appreciate it. Thank you. You know what I mean? I'm hoping that I truly, my intentions and my hope and sincere wish is that Moore's watching this, I may not want to hop on live, may not want to make a comment publicly known, but privately, I hope you're really considering and reflecting on this and figuring out, you know what? We need to humble ourselves. We need to reach out. Oh, that's what I wanted to say about the fruit of Islam and the good brother Joseph. Thank you. Thank you for that comment. Sorry about that. It just triggered it. The good brother Joseph, Captain Joseph X, the head of Harlem's Fruit of Islam. The reason why I wanted to bring that up was the connection between him and the Moorish Science Temple of America. Noble Drew Ali instructed the Moorish Security Force or Moorish Defense Force, the Mufti. He not even just them. He instructed members of the Moorish Science Temple of America to not even carry a pocket knife. So, we were instructed as Moorish Americans not to be walking around with weapons and knives and such. And the connection that I think may be there is that with the Fruit of Islam, they train and their security force do not typically have guns on them or weapons or knives. And I'm almost positive, like 99% positive, that Nation of Islam brothers, that they'd never carry weapons on them. I can't speak for certain about the Fruit of Islam, but I'm like almost certain that the Nation of Islam, they don't carry weapons. And so it's just a connection. But back to my point, that Moorish Americans, members of the Moorish Science Temple of America, we need to humble ourselves and start reaching out to the Nation of Islam and seeing how can we learn from those good brothers and that organization that they have established. Because just being honest again, being sincere, the Moorish Science Temple of America, we in bad shape. We in bad shape on so many different fronts: education, health, finance, economics, real estate, jobs, ownership, conduct. Like across the board, we need to improve literally across the board. And we got to humble ourselves and we got to get better. You know what I mean? And just being real, should we be looking to quote unquote, white organizations? Should we be reaching out to them for mentorship? Teach us how to teach us, you know what I mean, good European brothers and sisters. Show us how to run our organization. Should we do that? Especially when we got an organization right there with the Nation of Islam that literally the foundation of it has roots and ties and connections to our own organization. Why wouldn't we reach out to those brothers and sisters? Is it just the ego, the pride? Is it just because they call themselves black? Is that the only thing that's stopping us? That's, just something that we need to think about. Hey, yeah. And that the character development, I appreciate that point. I'm gonna close out because we passed the hour mark, but I appreciate the point. To that point, and to build on that, again, the Nation of Islam has been a brilliant, perfect example of character development. You can literally see the before and after brothers that go into the nation and how they operate, how they conduct themselves, and how those brothers come out of the nation. Or, once they've gone through that process, who are they? How is that organization transformed and developed their character? Can we say the same for the Moorish Science Temple of America? Do we have examples that we can point to for the Moorish Science Temple of America that show this is a model example of the character development that you get with the organization? Do we? You know what I mean? It's just something to think about, something to be honest about. So, I appreciate the commentary. The one thing I'm one thing I appreciate the comments. Syntax graph. One thing I just I'm working on being more diplomatic and more mindful of how I communicate. So even like with these videos, my focus isn't on trying to point out the issues or criticisms for, especially not the Nation of Islam. If the criticism is anywhere, I'm really more so pointing towards Moorish Americans and the Moorish Science Temple of America. And it's like, well, why, Rami? What about, like that's an issue that I see with my son a lot. He has, he'll have issues with something going on in school and this person. And it's like, oh, but what about them? And how come they can get away with this? And how come you? And it's like, my focus ain't on them right now, son. Not to say what they're doing is 100% right or correct or that I agree, but my focus isn't on their conduct. What I'm responsible for is you, son, and what you're doing, how we can improve. And likewise with the Moorish Science Temple of America, I'm less focused about trying to point to, well, what about the nation? And man, Farrakhan, he ain't doing this, and Brother Ben, he ain't doing, and Rizal Islam, he ain't said. It ain't about that. It's about what are we doing. Uh-oh. Messing up. My glitching. I hope I'm all cool. But it's about what we're doing. And it's about looking at ourselves as Moorish Americans and as members of the Moorish Science Temple of America and improving ourselves and being the example that we would like to see in others. That is, in my humble opinion, the best way that we can move forward. But I've spoken enough. About to get off of here. Thank you all for watching, contributing the perspectives. the commentaries, more questions, drop it in the comment section. Maybe on part 3, I'll bring some good brothers on from the nation. Maybe that's the goal. The next one, my aim is to bring a brother from the nation on and have a discussion on this. All right. Much love to you all. Love is the key. Love is the way. Much love to you and yours. Noble Ali taught love instead of hate. Yeah, that's all I got to say. Have a great day. Peace. Bam.